Hello.
Hi, Facebook.
Thanks for tuning in to get real with what? Thanks for tuning in to get real with real estate, peeps.
Yeah, so this is episode 28, I think. And
we're cranking.
Yeah, we're basically a question that you should be asking every agent that you're interviewing.
It's an extremely important question. And we have an escrow right now that's proving why this is an important question to ask.
That's motivating this video.
It is. And the question is, drum roll.
Do you do this full time?
Do you do this full time? It is a really important question. And if they don't do it full time, you get to really consider how they're showing up and how vigorous and urgent they are going to work. If there is, and I've seen this, and I've seen agents have a part-time job and bust their butts to make their business work. And they are on it. And they're responding to emails. And they're hustling. And their boots are on the ground running. And you know that they are on top of their stuff. That's not the agent we're referring to in this moment.
No, not at all. Like she said, we're currently in escrow on a transaction. And, we're not going to say names or anything. But it is a little bit frustrating because this agent is not a full-time agent, and it's extremely apparent. And the deeper we get in, the more involved we get, we realize how part-time it really is for him. And
very.
At this point, we're really feeling frustrated because we've been waiting almost a week now for like a response from our request for repairs.
Which
very straightforward request for
and
repairs,
very fair, like very simple, very fair. Our client is an extremely on top of things woman, which is amazing. Like, that's why we vibe really well, and she's an amazing client to work with us, and we've been serving her really well. But in that respect, she's been having a turnaround time of like an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe like 3 or 4 if she's traveling. And so not only are we experiencing frustration, but she is getting so frustrated as well in the lack of response. She was just texting us earlier wondering if we were delayed at this point because it's taken now a few days to receive a response.
Yeah, and we've gotten we've gotten the verbal response, but obviously we need everything in writing. But the whole thing is, I call and I talk to the guy, and his story is all, I'm at my morning job. Like, I'll get to it later.
Which, by the way, is a full-time job. Like, yeah, he's a teacher.
He's a teacher.
So it's a full-time job that starts very early in the morning, and he's often there pretty late in the afternoon.
And basically, he's MIA a lot, and, we'll get feedback. And, like I said, we've been waiting on this document back from him. I call him today. Yeah, maybe I hope to get it to you tonight, tomorrow at the latest. Okay, why can't we get it tonight?
Meanwhile, that's also the message that we've been delivered every day this week.
Yeah, so why can it not be done? He's, having things like we're having to ask people on his team for things. Like, oh, yeah, just ask her for it. She'll get it for you. It's like, okay, like...
Yeah, like he'll text a response and be like, could you touch base with the transaction coordinator? I'm like, yes, I can touch base with the TC, but at the same time, like, technically that's your job. So right now, from our perspective as a buyer's agent, that was the perfect property for our client, and we are absolutely going to make it work for our client. But had we known, well, the interesting thing is we kind of did have a little bit of insight.
Well, I was going to say, not only that, he's affecting the sellers too. This particular listing, the photos are terrible.
Terrible.
The photos are awful. The home's actually pretty nice.
And the thing is, our buyer is so on top of things that had we not been communicating effectively with her on our end, I feel like she may have already backed out of this transaction. Because the thing is, the lack of response, even though it's on the agent, I actually don't even know if the agents presented the request for repairs to the clients yet. As of yesterday, that had not been completed. So it's been sitting on his desk for 4 days, but our buyer doesn't necessarily know that unless we're effectively communicating it with her. So in the grand scheme of things, thankfully our client has a really good buyer's agent, but she in her mind, has the story, okay, the sellers are taking 5 days to respond to my really reasonable request.
Yeah, are they going to say no?
Are they going to say no? Should I be moving on to the next property that I see hitting the market? Because that's a good one. So the thing is, he's really doing his clients a disservice, not only from the very first day that he listed the property with really poor photos that I guarantee deterred buyers from seeing it. Because our client was honestly like, wow, this place is way more awesome than it looks in the photos.
I think her exact quotes were, wow, I think I took better photos on my phone just now.
It was, we didn't even have to bring it up. And, through the transaction, he's creating so much dis-ease within the transaction because of his disservice to his clients. So it's something we see, honestly, over and over again. Like I said, there are plenty of agents who carry a part-time job but are trying to make that transition to full-time agency, and they are hustling their asses off to make it happen.
But there are also the part-time agents who it's quite literally just a part-time side gig that maybe they can sell a house or two every, couple of years and make an extra buck. But it's not something that they're, committed to day in, day out, providing excellent service, knowing the ins and outs in the market. I mean, just today, we've already seen, 5-6 homes?
Yeah,
just in the last couple hours.
We've been to, I think, 6 or 7 properties today.
I've probably been to 25, 30 properties this week.
For sure. And that's the thing, you want to keep those things in mind. Is your agent, it's a very important question to ask as you're interviewing agents, because how often is your agent in the field? How well do they know the local market? What are they doing to market your property? How much time are they spending? The real question here is, my friends, do they put food on the table with the paycheck from your sale or your buy? If they don't, it may not be the best fit unless they're really hustling. So, simple and short message today. The topic's not too intense, but it's one we experience, so I highly recommend adding that question to your interview ones if you have them.
It's currently coming up for us, so.
Very, very often this week. So, hope you're having a great Friday. Happy Friday. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.